When Amanda the Adventurer got updated to version 1.1, we got a bonus tape, but just as it seems like there's nothing wrong with it, aside from the cryptic real image, I found something interesting that might make you look at this new version a bit differently. This one involves the new bonus tape. When you type in Lamb in episode 2 of Amanda the Adventurer, you'll be given a tape which shows us a cryptic real image. Now, what the image meant is something I already talked about in a previous video, which if you haven't seen it yet is right up here. What's really bothering me is what happened afterward. Once you're done typing all of the word in the tape ends just like that. No ejects like the previous tape. So what's up with this? I'm sure some of you might have noticed, but most of you that don't, this tape was never real. It never existed. The first time you got the tape is at episode 2. Why this episode specifically? Why not the first episode when they're at the store asking for apples? Well, you see, episode 2 is where you're going to get meat for your grandma. Here is where you're supposed to type meat to progress through, but if you type in lamb, you'll be given a bonus tape after that. Why lamb of all the word chosen? Well, logically speaking, it's something that was already programmed in, but if you look at it at a lore standpoint, Wooly is a sheep. Lamb and sheep are the same. What happened to Wooly in episode 2 is connected to the third episode. We assume that Wooly was killed, but how? Well, just as I expected, a lot of you guys were giving amazing theories on what happened, and always at episode 2, you guys would imagine what happened to Wooly and trying to connect to the wool that you've seen in the third episode. He was pushed to the chopping block. He was killed in the back of the kitchen, and so on. These are some of the assumptions about what happened to Wooly, which is why this bonus tape was given. It could be that this tape was given to us to let us see what happened to Wooly at the end, how his tragic life ended. So then how does this connect to it not being real? As I mentioned in my previous theory, there's an entity that follows Amanda around and was trying to possess her to get out of this place. So when Wooly tried to warn us, the entity caught on and took him out. So who left the tape then? The butcher couldn't possibly do it. I mean, who would be crazy enough to leave a tape of him butchering Wooly? It couldn't be Amanda since we've already established that an entity is possessing her. So this left us with the entity, leaving behind something for us to see. Now here the bonus tape plays and shows us 3 images. A house, a forest, and a dead animal in a meat processing factory. I touched this briefly on this topic in 2 videos ago, but to give you guys a summary, this real image that was used could be an interpretation of what the devs trying to tell us. And since this update was made in a rush, there isn't any time to put in the correct details. This 3 realistic image is not the real image that was meant to be used. Their intention might have been to add a cartoony-like image that would fit Amanda the Adventurer's art style. I would also like to add a possibility here that the entity might have known you're watching the tape for the second time, as when you try to type in Wooly, it immediately ends the tape, further proving that the entity know you're already watching it before and ended the tape. It might be because there's no point in showing you again if you already know what happened to your best friend, Wooly. The last piece of evidence that strongly suggests this tape was never there or was just an illusion is the sound. When you insert the bonus tape, it never made a sound similar to the other tapes when you inserted them. When you get to the last image, when it forced you to type Wooly and the video ended there, the tape was never ejected, seemingly just vanished, as if it was never there. So what do we make of this? Well, if we look at this at the lore standpoint, something is giving us the tape, and that something is the entity. Second episode is where she is fully controlled by the entity and killed Wooly. The bonus tape was given to us by it to show us what happened to Wooly in between the second and third episode. That is why the tape didn't have numbers, make any normal sound, and was never ejected. It should not have existed in the first place.
That's right.
What if you finding out the tape was just a mere coincidence, and because you found out the tape, you were given the opportunity to watch how your friend died? And if you think of it like that, it's kinda dark. And there you have it, that is why the bonus tape is not real. Pretty interesting to see the small detail that the devs put in and a lot of us miss out on it. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Was it real or was it just an illusion? I would love to hear your thoughts on it down below. Again, thank you for watching and I will see you all again in the next video. Stay awesome guys.